Oh, okay, sure. So the question is, she bought something recently that says raw coconut in a jar, and it was probably like artisanal coconut butter. Yeah. So there's coconut oil and coconut butter, and so let me explain the differences of those. The coconut oil is basically they take this stuff and then they press out the oil out of it. So then you're left with, this is the whole coconut with, fiber and oil. And if I actually take this and put it through my juicer with the homogenizing plate at low speed, I can make basically a coconut. It makes like a coconut cream that's like cream, and the oil will rise to the top if I put it on my dehydrator. So I've made my own coconut oil with, the stuff I make at home. So that's the oil is basically, you separate the fiber from the oil.
It actually has some coconut in it.
Right. So that's next I'm going to talk about coconut butter. So the coconut butter is what they do is they just take the whole coconut fiber with the oil and just pulverize it and grate it up really fine, like, so akin to like almonds and almond butter. It'd be whole coconuts with the oil in the fiber, and then, it'd be coconut butter. So, I think that's a much better product to eat than the oil because you are getting the fiber. But, I would once again basically say to make it yourself. You could take this and put it through your juicer with a blank plate or like a single auger juicer, and it'll just mush it all up, and then you just mix them together, and that's going to be the same stuff that you could buy, but it's going to be a lot fresher because anything that's in a can, bottle, or jar, you don't know the processing. I mean, a company called Nutiva, they're out in Sebastopol. When I was at Raw Spirit Festival in Santa Barbara this year, they basically had put out a press release, and their coconut oil that was labeled raw for all these years, they just came out with a press release that says, our coconut oil is not raw. We didn't know. We're sorry. We just found this out. And now they put a statement out. I mean, at least they're being responsible about, fessing up that it wasn't raw these years. So you have to trust the companies that are selling you these products. And I mean, even if it says raw, you just don't really know because they could just be saying it. Somebody upline where they're buying it from could be saying it. But their definition of raw may be different than our definition of raw because their definition of raw is maybe meaning, not roasted. So like the case of, I don't know, cashews. Cashews, when they're raw in the store, have been heat processed hotter than what a raw foodist would like to see. But for the industry, it's raw because they didn't roast them. And we got to remember, industry and businesses and people that sell you things in bottles, jars, and cans, they're not necessarily there for your health most of the time. They're there to make a profit. And if their product was maybe processed at a lower temperature, it could maybe go bad and rancid, and then they'd lose their profit. So we have to always remember this. And I guess that's pretty much the end of my talk. If anybody has any questions, I'd be glad to take those now.
What about avocados?
Avocados, well, once again, avocados are water-rich fats. So I think I would classify fats into, good, better, best. And avocados are one of the better raw fats, in my opinion, because they're water-rich. So avocado fat and coconut fat, if it's in the whole state like a young coconut, is much better than a nut or seed fat because that's more dense. And I kind of look at it like this. Like if I was out in nature, at my brother's house, he has an almond tree. And I could climb the neighbor's fence, stand on the top of the fence and get an almond out of his tree, pull it off, and then I got to pull off the outer husk skin, and then I got the hard nut that I got to crack open, and then I could eat it. And when I eat it off the tree fresh, it still has a higher water content than what you could get in a bulk bin. But the whole process, I explained it really fast, but I mean, you got to climb up there, pull it off, open it up, and you get one. Okay, then you got to do it again. I mean, I'm already up there. So I mean, it takes a couple, a minute or a couple minutes. But I mean, with the advent of bulk bins, you could open the bulk bin and you have a whole thing of almonds, that would have took you, I don't know, an hour maybe to get that many. So, I try to look to nature, and if we were out in nature, I really wouldn't be eating that many almonds. But on the same hand, if I was in front of an avocado tree and they're dropping and they're ripe, man, I'd eat a lot more coconuts. I mean, I've lived on coconuts in Puerto Rico with my friend Kailash for a weekend. So yeah, it's always good, better, best. I mean, but if the options are, avocados or, I don't know, animal meats, avocados are definitely better because the options are, more nuts or seeds or avocados. Maybe, avocados are better. But that being said, you don't want to, eat too many avocados either because that's really high in fat, in my opinion. All right. Any other questions? Okay. So did everybody get my coconut vanilla smoothie? And what do you think? Was it good?
Yeah.
I mean, 2 ingredients. So we can make things that are really simple, taste really good, but it just challenges us a lot more because we haven't been trained or taught these ways to be really creative in the kitchen. We're taught to follow. So we see raw food recipe books and we just follow what's in there, and they just default to salt and agave to make things either sweet or salty when they don't have the garden in their front yard, to like have the highest quality ingredients. When you're growing in rock dust minerals, things are actually, they're sweeter by nature. And but when you pick things like kale, some of it tastes as sweet as lettuce. When you buy kale at Whole Foods, you know, it tastes really bitter. That's because it's on its way out. So we really need to get our taste buds kind of like readjusted to like, you know, the natural world and the natural foods that are here for us.